Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, a British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER into nice flight from Zurich International Airport. Going to be overflying Zurich, Switzerland, Germany, and then coming back to Zurich International Airport, runway 1449, Lszh localizer, landing zone. Now I'm in the cockpit for the pre-takeoff preparation of the Boeing 777-300ER of the Pmdg simulation and Microsoft Flight Simulator X. I'm going to now start showing you the cockpit instruments and the displays and the functions of the Boeing 777-300ER. So I'm gonna start with the primary flight display. That displays the airspeed indicator, the airspeed selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, the ground speed, the radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic heading and track. We have the magnetic north pole and the true north pole and the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have also the barometric altitude above the sea level, the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere, the target altitude selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel. Also we have the VSI, the vertical speed indicator for the rate of climb or descent of the aircraft in tens, hundreds and thousands of feet per minute. We have the altitude indicator with the pitch ladder in degrees and the bank angle in degrees. Also we have the Lszh localizer and the flight director crossbars for manual guidance of the aircraft. We have the autopilot crossbars for automatic guidance of the aircraft. We have the angle of attack of the aircraft and also the Lszh localizer information. And also we have the flight mode annunciator with the autopilot and the autothrottle later on in vertical navigation modes. We also have the navigation display. The navigation display that displays the airports, the waypoints, the nav aids, the GPS reference position of the aircraft, the inertial reference position. We have the RMP and the ANP, the required navigation performance and the acquired navigation performance. We have the terrain and weather radar reflections. We have the magnetic north pole and the true north pole again, and the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have the heading of the track. We have the next waypoint we're going to be overflying. We have the wind speed, direction and magnitude, and also the ground speed of the aircraft. We have other aircraft flying our own aircraft displayed using the transponder, the ADSB and ADC transmitter receiver that transmits and receives our own position, altitude, direction and airspeed, and also receives from other aircraft, and also transmits to the air traffic control tower. So we can see the navigation display like a passive radar, other aircraft flying around us, the altitude variation and the direction and the airspeed of the other aircraft. So we have the TICA system for traffic collision alert system for advisories. We have also the autopilot. Before doing that, we have the flight management computer. I'm gonna input the data of the aircraft, like the takeoff weight, the runway and the airport we're gonna use for takeoff. We're gonna select the runway conditions and the aircraft weight for takeoff, the fuel on board and the passengers and the cargo on board. So we're gonna select the airport and the runway conditions, if it is dry, wet or ice, and the wind direction and speed, also the barometric pressure of the outside atmosphere, the temperature of the atmosphere and the density of the air. And we're gonna make the calculations for the takeoff speeds and the horizontal trim stabilizer and also the flap settings for takeoff. We're gonna calculate the V speed, V1, V rotate and V2. I'm gonna also select the seats, the saddle instrument departure, intermediate waypoints and fixes for the navigation of the aircraft and the destination airport and runway. And we're gonna make a complete route using the flight management computer. You're gonna see it in the navigation display, displayed as a flight path, a horizontal and vertical flight path for the aircraft. Also we have after that I'm gonna show you the autopilot and flight director system panel, the FTS. I'm gonna show you the autopilot engage and disengage switch, the autothrottle left and autothrottle right, engage and disengage switch, the flight director engage and disengage switch, the flight level change, and also the airspeed select node. With the flight level change, the auto throttle and the speed mode, the climb continuous mode. So we have two main modes for the speed guidance of the aircraft using the autopilot director system panel, the fixed thrust and the variable thrust mode. So for like takeoff and climb, we need the maximum climb thrust, and for descent we need the idle thrust, and the airspeed is going to be adjusted by using the rate of climb or descent of the aircraft using the horizontal tail trim stabilizer and the elevator commands from the autopilot director system panel. Also we have the variable thrust mode for cruise and for approach and landing. So the airspeed there is being adjusted by varying the thrust, while the aircraft attitude is being maintained constantly horizontal. So we have the LNAV and the VNAV, the lateral navigation and vertical navigation, which is interconnected and overlaps with the flight management computer. Inputs is going to follow the vertical and horizontal profile of the flight plan. We're going to create the route of flight path as you want. We have also the heading, the band angle of the aircraft for the autopilot limit. Also the heading, select node, the heading hold switch. We have the vertical rate of climb and descent of the aircraft in hundreds of thousands of feet per minute. The VS mode and the flight path angle, the FPA in the trigonometric angle in degrees for climb or descent. Also we have the altitude select node and the altitude hold switch. We have the VOR localizer, the VOR and the Lszh localizer for the aircraft. Also we have then I'm gonna show you Then I'm gonna come up to the thrust levers of the aircraft. I will explain you the function of the engines of the G90 General Electric 90 turbo contributed engines that we have installed in our Boeing 737-300ER. One in the left wing, one in the right wing for symmetrical thrust and redundancy. I will explain you how to, the thrust levers angle or the autopilot director system commands give a signal to the FADEX. The FADEX are the full authority to the electronic control computers, one installed per engine, for example redundancy, one transfers the other controlling, controls to manages also information registry, the upper and the lower aircraft and indication controller system. Then I will come to the flight theory of the aircraft. I will explain you how the aircraft, we're going to calculate the takeoff speed, how the aircraft generates lift using its wings, the aerodynamic lift from the wings, from the airflow around the wings when the aircraft is accelerating. Also, then I'm going to show you the flight controls of the aircraft, the control column and the control yoke, the rudder pedals. So I'll explain the function of the horizontal elevator, the vertical stabilizer, the rudder and the ailerons and the spoilers. Also the horizontal chain stabilizer function, the nose wheel steering. Then I'm going to come to the overhead panel. I will explain you the electrical system, the left and the right engine driving, IDC generators, the backup generators that produce high unit current 130,000 kilovolts or 130,000 watts. 400 Hz frequency, 120 to 200 volts alternate current. We have also the batteries for direct current 88 volts, 48 hours, and the APU, the auxiliary power unit, another 120,000 kilovolts. We need for starting mainly the engines in the ground. We use in the ground when we are in the cold start state. We use the APU, the auxiliary power unit. I'm gonna show you how to solve that. Also we have the flight control computers, the ability battery and storage reference unit, the left and the right engine driving hydraulic pumps, the C1 and the C2 which is pressurized by the bleed air system, the electrical, also I'm gonna show you the electronic engine control for the engines, the auto start system that controls also the FAREX, BEC, electronic control for the engines, the fuel system, left and right wing fuel tanks, the center tank, the forward and the aft fuel pumps, the crossfit valve, and the low and high pressure fuel valves for the engines, and the throttle valve control switches for the fuel flow to the engine. Then I will come to the wing and engine ADIs, the cabin pressurization system of the aircraft, and the bleeder from the left and the right engine. We mainly use for cabin pressurization, wing and engine ADIs, air conditioning and ventilation, and also the hydraulic fluid C1 and C2 system we need for the flight controls of the aircraft mainly, and other systems like the landing gear, extending retraction, and the parking brake, the nose steering, and the throttle. So I'm gonna show you all these things. So thank you very much one more time for joining me in this video. I'm Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300ER in tonight's flight. So we have about an hour left for this video to end. So you can see the aircraft and the whereabouts. Over here the airport, the Switzerland. So you can see also the flight controls, the rudder pedals. So I'm gonna start with the primary flight display. You can see the primary flight display that displays the ground speed over here, the airspeed, the minimum airspeed displayed right now is 30 knots. The rest is selected from the autopilot and flight director system panel, 200 knots. The radio altitude above the ground level, the magnetic shading and track, the barometric pressure altitude above the sea level, 1,430 feet, 10,000 feet. The altitude selected, the pitch ladder in degrees, and the bank cargo in degrees also. The flight director here, you can see the crossbars and the ticks for the degrees, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10 degrees, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20 for pitch up and pitch down of the aircraft. As you can see, the radio altitude above the ground level. We have the flight mode annunciator here with the takeoff go round. We have the vertical speed indicator for the vertical speed of the aircraft. You can see how fast it climbs or descends in tens, hundreds, and thousands of feet per minute. The angle of attack of the aircraft as it flies. So you also can see here we have the navigation display that displays the airport's waypoints, the nav aid. So you can see here we have the magnetic shading and track, the magnetic north pole and the true north pole, the magnetic variation depending on where we are in the world. We have the autopilot and flight director system panels here, the auto throttle left over here, and auto throttle right, engage and disengage switch. So you can see engage or disengage auto throttle right and auto throttle left over here. It will show you the auto throttle left is off for now. So you can see also we have the autopilot engaged, and this engaged also is the flight director, flight level change, autopilot disengaged. So with the press hold you can select an airspeed in nautical miles per hour or Mach speed. Indicated airspeed or Mach, the LNAV and the VNAV, the heading and track over here, the bank angle of the aircraft, and the heading select. This is also depressible, the hold angle, the flight level change, the altitude hold. So we set the altitude like 35,300. We have the vertical speed also. So this is some of the modes you can use. The auto throttle also, the climb continues, the autopilot engage and disengage like this. I will show you later. So if you disengage like this, you have the warning over here, and the autopilot is disconnect with red letters over here. You also have the flight director here in the primary flight display. So we have about 55 minutes left for this flight, as you can see. So I will show you now the differences over here in the primary flight display. So you can select also inches of mercury or hectopascals in the display. Also here we have the magnetic north pole, the true north pole. You can select the geographic north pole. You will see the geographic true north pole over here. Navigation also here in the heading. So we can select again the magnetic. It will give us the magnetic north pole over here. So we have now 253 nautical miles per hour, 35,300 feet, target altitude 7,710 meters, over here 1,430 feet of 436 meters, heading hold, flight level change speed, and 1,013 hectopascal. So now we can use these the other modes. So we have also the autopilot on. You will see the autopilot now with the flight level change, heading hold, and 253 knots, the altitude. You can set again inches of mercury here. You will see 39.92 inches for the barometric pressure. A couple more modes. We have the altitude hold instead of the heading. So you see the target altitude here. Also we have the vertical speed of flight path angle here, so we can select the vertical speed of flight path angle. You will see a negative sign. We will select descent. So you will see minus 2.9 degrees over here. Flight path angle over here, as you can see, FPA, and the minus the negative angle for descent below the horizon line in the pitch ladder. So you can select also climb. You will see the plus. Vertical speed, fly path angle, heading track again. So we can set the climb. You will see FPA again, heading hold, and the climb angle for after takeoff. This rate request for the autopilot and flight director system panel. So we're gonna have also about 35 minutes. So we need to come faster into that. Autopilot engage. The vertical speed now. So we have the negative vertical speed. It's gonna send the send signal to the autopilot flight director. Now you can follow manually. So you will see here how many thousands feet per minute, 2.6 or 2.9, 2.7. So now you can set the positive plus climb angle. Like 3,500. So you will see here 3,500 plus for the climb angle, for the climb of the aircraft. So we have about a few more things over here. Now will come. You can disconnect, of course, the autopilot like this, or you can just select the other mode again. Flight level change instead. You will have flight level change and disengage the autopilot like this. It will show you the autopilot is disconnected with red, and the warning over here. So you reset, you will cancel the warning. You can come here in the control wheel, press this switch up, and you will have the disconnect again. The autopilot disconnected with red, and you have to take control of the aircraft. So we have again autopilot one more time, and it confirms the disconnect action. So now we have the thrust levers mode. So I'll have to talk to you about the thrust levers. I'll show you a couple of things here around. So this is the horizontal trim stabilizer over here, the switch. So you can trim the horizontal tail of the aircraft up and down. The aileron trim, the horizontal trim of the tail is being displayed here, up and down, how many degrees. This is the parking brakes, up and down, so you can release the parking. The horizontal trim stabilizer over here, also normal and alternate. The speed brake extend now is retract. You can extend again only when the thrust levers are at idle. We have also here is the rudder trim and the aileron trim. We have also the horizontal tail trim stabilizer cutout switch over here. You will have a failure of the C or DR hydraulic systems over here, which is air pressurized. We're gonna lose the control of the autopilot and auto throttle horizontal trim stabilizer, so we have to move this. We're gonna have only the alternate, so the normal manual. So we're gonna have only this manual control after, or for the horizontal trim of the horizontal tail over here. You can see the horizontal tail outside. So we have also other controls here. We have the flaps position, up and down. You will see the flaps movement over here. The duct pressure, the flow from the turbofan to the engine, the total fuel on board, the temperature of the fuel. We have also the landing gear extend and retract, the alternate. Here if we lose the normal, the terrain override, the auto brake, rejected takeoff for maximum takeoff, the flap limit. The auto throttle disconnect. The takeoff go on and the thrust reverse. So if we have the speed brakes extended, we can move the thrust reverse. It will extend also the speed brakes automatically. So you will see here the thrust reverse being deployed. So now we have the thrust reverses open and they slow down the aircraft in a landing or rejected takeoff. You can retract again, extend one more time. Also the forward view. Retract and extend. Also the other side you can see. Extend and retract again. So this is how to slow down the airplane during a landing, touchdown or rejected takeoff. You cancel the thrust reverse, you will retract the landing gear, the speed brakes also automatically. So you can move the speed brakes when the thrust levers are idle. Move the thrust levers forward, they will retract the speed brakes automatically. You can see the thrust levers position, the commanded and the actual. It takes some seconds for the engines to spool up or spool down. So this gives the forward propulsion thrust to the aircraft. You can use also variable thrust like this. So you can see one engine at a time. It has higher thrust, the right wing engine, while the left is down. You can see also the other side. We will use a variable thrust mode like this. You will see the left engine now having more thrust. So we use the idle again, and we have 25. So you can see other things here. Now we have the engines here, the display, the upper and the lower ACAS. You can see the N1, which is the low speed starter, and shaft, the low pressure compressor and turbine of the left and the right turbofan turbine engine. We have the limits, the green, the yellow, the red. You can see 104.6% the maximum continuous thrust and takeoff ground mode. The idle is 22%, the exhaust gas temperature per engine 443 degrees, the not exceed limits, green and yellow, and the bleeder from the left and the right engine, which goes also for the cabin pressurization system. 103.8 thousand pounds, the total fuel on board, the N2, which is the lowest, the high speed starter and shaft, the high pressure compression and turbine of the turbofan turboject engine, The N1 is the low speed, low starter and start, the low pressure compressor and turbine. The engine, the fuel flow range around 2,300 1,000 pounds or kilograms, the oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantity, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. So we use the thrust levers to actuate the thrust, gives a signal to the FADEX. So the FADEX control and monitor of the displays. The FADEX are the flow these electronic control computers. One is for engine, one in the left wing, one in the right wing. Dual channel redundancy, one channel face the other. So we have two engines that use General Electric G90 turbofan turbojet engines which produce a lot of thrust. So you can see the displays got the FADEX monitor and control, the N1 which is low speed starter and start low pressure compression turbine of the turbofan engine, the exhaust gas temperature, the N2 which is the high speed starter and start the high pressure compression turbine of the turbofan turbojet engine, the fuel flow per engine per hour, the oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantity, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine. We also control the outflow pressure from the 5th and the 9th stage, the leader, the 5th and the 9th blade stage. So we have an overpressure inside the engine. They can open into higher stage the airflow valves so they can relieve the overpressure from inside the engine. We have another pressure. They can close it into a lower level. So they have an increase in the pressure inside the engine. We also control the engine start, engine shutdown, and the fuel control valves. The shutdown valves also. So the fuel air mixture. So we climb the aircraft into higher altitudes above the sea level, like 20, 30, or 40,000 feet above the sea level. We have lower air temperature below freezing, like -30, -30. We have half the barometric pressure or lower than the sea level, and also have the air density than the sea level. Also the aircraft flies in airspeed like 2 or 3 times faster than that of the sea level, so we have a different air fuel air mixture request every second. Also the air intake, the Z stream from the front fan inside the turbofan engine is faster, it's moving faster at higher rate. So we need a fuel air mixture actuation every second, which is made automatically using the FADEX instead of manually. Also, when we descend the aircraft from the cruise level into the sea level, we do the opposite. So the FADEX control these things is a good thing to have them installed in your aircraft. So I will talk to you now about the flight theory of the aircraft, and then show you the flight control. So we have this aircraft, the Boeing 777-300ER right now. It contains about it has a takeoff weight of about 534,000 kilograms, or 500 or 100 240 sorry 243,000 kilograms, or about 531,000 pounds. It's below the maximum takeoff weight. Today it's about 30% of the total fuel we can take, about 46,000 kilograms or 103,000 pounds, and about 30,000 kilograms of passenger and cargo, about 46,000 pounds. So in total 243,000 kilograms or 531,000 pounds for takeoff weight. Below the maximum takeoff weight we have about we're gonna need to use 15 degrees of flap and 4 degrees, 4.35 degrees of horizontal trim stabilizer for this runway length, runway conditions, size, wet or dry, and also the wind speed direction, and also the barometric pressure, the density of the air, and the temperature of the air if it is. So you can see So we need to make the calculations using the flight management computer. We need to overcome the stall speed. The stall speed is going to make the aircraft wings stall and not produce a necessary lift force during takeoff and then flight. So we need to have the effective lift component from the aerodynamic lift from the airflow around the wings, which is a higher pressure below the wings, a low pressure above the wings. So, uh, so the lift is going to overcome the weight of the aircraft. The weight of the aircraft is the mass times the earth acceleration, depending on where we are in the world. Also, the thrust from the engine will overcome the kinetic and static friction into the aircraft. Now I'm going to talk to you about the Newton's first, second, and third law of kinematics of motion, about the Bernoulli theory of fluids and aeronautical and aerospace engineering and mathematics and physics. So I will derive some interesting principles about the flight theory. We need also for the air transport pilot license. So we have 13 and 5. So we have about 30 minutes left for this before going into the takeoff. So I'll show you now the outside view. So you can see the outside view over here. You can see the surface area of the wings holds the weight of the aircraft in total. You can see the left and right engine, the thrust they produce. We have the vectors from the thrust of the engines, the propulsion, the forward propulsion. We have these vectors, the longitudinal vector, which is from the nose to the tail of the aircraft, the lateral from wingtip to wingtip, and the vertical that transverses the center of gravity of the aircraft. You can see the mean aerodynamic chord position, about 25% of the Mach, is the position where the maximum aerodynamic lift in the wing occurs and the center of pressure, and also where the stall of the aircraft wings begins, where the airflow becomes detached from the top surface of the wings. Also is the position where the center of gravity is being calculated. You can see the center of gravity forward or aft by moving fuel, passengers, cargo, other things inside the aircraft. We also have these vectors from physics, the vectors. So you have the vertical center of gravity. About here you have the moment arm. It times the distance from the center of gravity all the way back to the horizontal tail over the surface area of the horizontal or the vertical tail over the side control, like the elevator or the rudder surface area, times the airflow of the air mass per second, times the acceleration of the air gravity. So you have the moment or lever arm times the distance over the surface area times the airflow per second times the acceleration of the air gravity, and you have the lever arm or pitch arm or moment arm. So you can climb, you can descend the aircraft using the horizontal or vertical tail. You can make turns in the air. Also, this is occurring for the ailerons and the spoilers on the left and right wing. You can make turns, bangles left and right by deflecting the airflow. You create this aerodynamic and also force from physics using the Bernoulli theory and the Newton's physics, the Bernoulli theory of fluids. So now coming the aircraft wings, you can see the thrust, forward thrust from the engine's propulsion. You can see the bottom surface of the wings is more flat, so the airflow of the air mass is moving slower below the wing. So we have a higher pressure below the wings, which pressurizes the aircraft wings up in the air. Also, you can see the top surface of the wings. So using again the Bernoulli theory of fluids, you can see the airflow of the air mass moving much faster because there is more higher curvature above the wing. So the airflow moves faster. We have a lower air pressure above the wing, which creates an air suction and sucks the aircraft up, the weight up into the air. So we have higher pressure below the wings, which pressurize the aircraft up into the air, and lower air pressure above the wings. So this is some of the theories about physics we need for flying the aircraft. Now we'll come to the flight controls part. So we're gonna have a few more minutes for that. So I will come now to the flight controls part of the Boeing 777-300ER. I will show you the side stick I use for this simulation to control the yoke, the control column, the control wheel, and the irons and the spoilers for the control wheel, and also the elevator using control column, and the rudder pedals for the rudder. Also has the nose wheel steering, and I have also the horizontal trim stabilizer and the thrust levers mainly. So you can see here I'm having this size for controlling the Boeing 777 in flight. So you can see I can pinch down the aircraft like this. You can see the both flight controls are interconnected, the left and the right side. Also the side stick deflection is proportional to the yoke deflection, so you can climb, you can descend, you can make bunkers left and bunkers right, and also leave neutral. Also use the horizontal trim over there, the stabilizer of the aircraft. So this is how I use horizontal trim up and down. Also the rudder pedals make left and right turn or hold stable the aircraft in flight. We have the nose wheel steering over there and the thrust levers. You can move the thrust levers up, more forward or aft in the idle position or whatever you like, intermediate, middle thrust position. So you can use maximum takeoff like this. So you can see the side stick deflection proportional, and we have all the flight control on movement. So now we'll show you the same thing for the outside view of the Boeing 777-300 ER. So you can see again the outside view, and I will show you what you can do again with the side stick for controlling the flight controls of the aircraft. I'll show you the outside, the exterior view. So you can climb, you can descend like this, you can make bunk rolls left and bunk rolls. I can see right. Other side, you can see how easy it is. So you can climb, you can descend, also make turns using the rudder pedals left and right. Again, horizontal trim stabilizer and hold mid-rest. So now we'll go inside the aircraft, show you the overhead panel and the lower control display, the systems, electrical, the hydraulic, the fuel system, electronic control for the engine, the cabin pressurization, the boom and engine on the ice, and the bleeder from the engines and the APU. So we'll start with the electrical, then make the engine start demonstration of the aircraft. So we're gonna again inside, and we have about 11 or 12 minutes left for this. So I will have to come now in the overhead panel. I forgot to mention here we have also the fuel control valves and the fire extinguishers. We have the weather and terrain radar with the radio communication panel, and the transporter with the TCAS system over there. So you can see the transporter, the tests, and some aircraft flying around. You will see the TCAS traffic collision advisory over here. You have some traffic flying, some other aircraft, and you can see where the aircraft is. So we come in the overhead upper panel. You can see here's the hydraulic fluid for maintenance in the ground. This is the circuit breakers reset and the systems in the overhead panel. So you can see inside the cockpit. So you can see here we have the systems. You can see we have the flaps for takeoff, moving up the flaps for takeoff. Like 15 degrees, you will see 15 degrees displayed over there. In the upper ACAS, you have again the display over here, the navigation. So you have also the speed brakes, extend with track like this. The horizontal trim stabilizer and the parking brakes up and down. So So you can move the thrust levers forward. It will give you a thrust request. You can see also the autopilot here, the panel in a better view. So we cancel the warning. You can see the displays I told you, but they display the air data, like the airspeed, the barometric altitude, the rate of climb descent, the GPS position. All this is controlled by this the Adiro switch. The air data means a reference unit, also the magnetic north or true north, and the GPS, the inertial reference position, the airspeed, the altitude. So all this is radio altitude, magnetic heading and track, and also the gyroscopic acceleration, deceleration of the aircraft using the laser gyroscopes. So the altitude of the aircraft. We have the start of the APU. This is the electrical, the battery, the APU generator battery, the left engine and the right engine IGT, the backup generators over here. So we start the APU, the thrust asymmetry compensator on and off, the hydraulic system. You can turn off the hydraulic pumps over here, the window heat, the rammer turbine, and the passenger oxygen. So now we're gonna have some failures here for the hydraulic pumps because we turn them off. So you will see the systems. So you will see all the systems moving up here. We have alternate flaps, flight controls, speed brakes, all failing. So we need to restart again. Back to the on. Everything to the on position. We have the electronic engine control, the fire extinguishers, the electronic engine control for the engine, normal and alternate, the auto start system, on and off. You can dump fuel in flight, rearm this and select the nozzle, how much fuel to remain. So you can turn the auto start on and off. The fuel tank, center tank is empty. You can see the pressure with yellow. The crossfeed valves in the left wing and the right wing, and the forward and aft pumps. The wing and engine got the ice over here below the fuel valves. We have the cabin pressurization, normal or alternate. Manual, we need to open and close the outflow valves as we climb or descend, and select the landing altitude. So we leave in auto. Also we have the bleed air from the left and the right engine. We need for cabin pressurization, wing and engine got the ice and air conditioning, and the hydraulic fluid pressurization over here. Also we need the APU bleeder for starting the engines in the ground. So now you will see we lose some systems like this. Hydraulic pressure demand C1 and C2. We lose hydraulic and also no cabin pressurization, so we need to reset this, the bleed valve. So this is all the systems for the overhead panel. Now we need to go over here. I'm gonna make the engine start in a couple of seconds. So we have all the systems here. We have the engines, the status. You can see the APU, the hydraulic and the oxygen level. The checklist, what we need to do before start. Here we have a failure, we need the reset, communications, navigation, synoptics, the doors are closed, the cabin can be pressurized, the gear, you can see the temperature of the brakes and the pressure of the tires, the electrical items, left engine, right engine, the APU is running, and the main battery voltage, the backup generators, 27 volts and 1 amperage, 1 ampere of charge or discharge. Also the hydraulic fluid, left engine, right engine, the center tanks, and you can see where the hydraulic fluid goes, the electric C1 and C2, the pressure 3000 psi each side, the fuel left wing, right wing, center tank is empty with yellow crosses, 51,000 pounds each left and right wing, total 102.2 thousand. You can see the fuel line for the left and the right engine with the kind of fuel low fuel valves, and the APU is fed from left wing using the DC motor, and the minimum fuel temperature minus 37 degrees, below which are the fuel freezes. We have the now the bleeder, left engine, right engine, the APU bleeder we need for all the systems I explained before. So if we increase the thrust from the engine, you will see more bleeder coming out. Then we will decrease it, and one last step left, the flight controls. You can see left wing, right wing, horizontal and vertical tail over here in the stabilizer trim. So if we move this around, you will see everything is working, also the rudder pedals and the other side over here. So you will see the function of the flight controls like this. Everything is working normally. So now we go in the modes again, engine, and go for the engine start. We turn off both fuel control like this. So you will see the reset over here and here. Engine control, auto start right and left. We have them on. Engine start down also. Engine start down. So you can see no fuel flow, and the N2 decreases. Also we go in the outside view, you will see both turbines, the right and the left wing, are slowing down. There is only pressurizer from the APU now. There is no fuel, so we need to restart the fuel. Left and right engine fuel control on. So you will see the fuel flow from 0 goes up, and the N2 also increases. Now we have both pressurizer and fuel in both engines. So we have the turbofan on now, both turbofan engines, and all the electrical is set. So now one last step before going to take off. The menu, you can see the index, ident, the position, this airport for the inertial coordinates, the GPS position, initial reference, 0 fuel weight, gross weight, reserves for fuel, and also cruising altitude 35,300 feet over here, cost index 100%, minimum fuel temperature, the route we have it already selected, Lszh, runway 14. So you can see again Lszh, copy paste, runway 14, departure, select 14, transvis, and arrival again, Lszh 14, transvis runway, transsummit. So we have the legs. We cancel the discontinuity, activate and execute. So we have the 15 degrees of flaps to select, the center of gravity automatically with the pitch trim, and the takeoff speeds are automatic for this gross weight and this runway length, and we are ready to proceed for takeoff. The flaps and the horizontal trim are set. So we have one last view before taxiing to the runway. Parking brakes down, and advance the thrust levers. Also use the nozzle steering here with the rudder pedals. So we have about 18 more minutes for the video to end. So we take the takeoff clearance here from the traffic control. Use the nozzle steering again. We slow down a little bit. The runway is clear, so we can proceed for takeoff. Advance this fast again and align with the standard line. The rudder pedals and the nozzle steering. So parking brakes again. Everything is set here. We need only the LNAV, the range decrease here. So you will see a different rates and radar scan over here. All the ILS localizer is ready. You can see the flight plan, flap set, speed brakes, track, and the horizontal trim stabilizer. We only need to use the thrust levers forward to the takeoff ground position, and we have the outside view where we are and where we're going right now, as you can see. So we're gonna use this view for takeoff. Parking brakes retract and full takeoff go on. Then we have about 80 minutes left for this flight. So we have 100 knots, 133 V1, we rotate, and V2 we take off. So you can see the takeoff rotation. Be careful not to hit the tail in the ground during takeoff. Positive rate, and landing gear is retract. So you can see we have the positive rate of takeoff. Down a little bit, we are to 2,500 feet above the ground level, 4,500 above the sea level, the airspeed 250 knots, the rate of flight 6,000 feet per minute, the ground speed 237, and you can see the radar here, the target altitude and the target airspeed, also the thrust over here from the engine. So we keep climbing. We need to start make return now over here. As you can see, we keep climbing like this. And we have like 15 more minutes for this video to end. You can see the pitch rate here. We use the control wheel and the control column for steering. The thrust levers at maximum takeoff. You can see how we make a return. $11,000 feet. We have to proceed to make waypoint. So I'm gonna show you now the view. Outside you can see the Switzerland here, the lakes, and the Zurich, and the Swiss Alps over here. So maybe a closer view of the Boeing. Hope you like it. The 777-300ER. As we make a nice turn over here. We're flying with about 500 kilometers an hour about. So we make a turn now again. I will keep climbing over here. We have beautiful views. So we need to come to this steering waypoint, 16,000 feet. Just see all the information here. 17,000 feet. We need to cross this. I'm gonna have the first waypoint to cross over here. The Zui is 5 nautical miles away from us. You can see how fast we climb over here, and the airspeed we have 250 north or 0.531 Mach. So we keep climbing. Need to make one turn now. Stay over. This way you can see keep climbing. Beautiful views here. The Switzerland, the lake. So we have the Germany in front of us, the Bayern Munich, the France in this side, and the Switzerland is here. So keep staying. So we have about 12 more minutes left to go. 32,000. So we have the France in this side, the Germany, the Bayern Munich in front of us as we keep climbing. 32,000. So you can see some stall warning. The flap settings we find with Mach 0.52, so about 650 kilometers an hour. You can see the thrust setting over here, the engine setting, also the autopilot commands here. That's all you need to know, and we'll see the next waypoint. So we cross 33,000 feet. We're gonna have the chemtrails and the contrails like this. Above this altitude we have the chemtrails now. We have the galaxy, the view, the lake, this beautiful lake over here. And we have the frozen vapors coming behind from the engines, the frozen vapors of the aircraft. And we have this beautiful view of the galaxy, 34,000 feet above the sea level. We have the France and the Germany, the Bayern Munich in front of us, and the Switzerland on this side behind the Swiss side. So we are 35,100. We keep having this galactic view. This is our spacecraft tonight, the Boeing 777-300ER. We have the galaxy, and we reach the altitude of cruise level. So we need maybe to start steering back home in a couple of minutes. Cruising altitude here. So we need to retract the flaps like this. And also increase the airspeed. So maybe we need to start steering back here to the 6,200 now. We have the Bayern Munich in front of us, so we need to start steering back into the Switzerland, so into the Zurich. So we go down to 35,000 feet, into 6,000. Also hope you like this view here, 35,000 feet with Mach 0.77 or 980 kilometers an hour or 300 meters per second. And we have the frozen vapors again. You can see the galaxy also. We're going back in this view. $37,000 feet, and we need to steer back. We need to pitch down the aircraft before the right plane. And we have 8 more minutes left for this video to end. So we cross here. You can see how beautiful the Boeing 777 is. We cross through the Switzerland again. And this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777-300ER, cross the galaxy with 980 kilometers an hour. You can also connect the autopilot just for display. You see now the autopilot command, the aircraft steering as we're going back to the airport. So we cross here again. We have this beautiful view. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777-300ER, 35,300 feet above the sea level, 980 kilometers an hour, 300 meters per second. So you can see how high we are, 7,710 meters above the earth, and cruising with about 300 meters per second. So we need to come here, set the waypoints for approach, for descent and landing. So here we are, we cruise with the autopilot on. We need to come here, decrease here, speed a little bit, and also select the lower altitude, and the vertical speed. And the speed brakes extend like this, and we track, and we start the descent like this. You can see the autopilot is connected, and we descend to this target altitude now. We keep cruising, descend down. Maybe 1,000. So we have about 4 more minutes left for this flight. We need to extend also the flags. Disconnect the autopilot and fly manually the approach. So we have descending. So we use a manual command right now for the aircraft. We have the speed brakes extend. We keep descending, as you can see. We have to cross this cloud. 6,000. We are almost aligned with the runway over here. You can see we use manual thrust and manual flight controls for steering. So we need to approach closer to the runway. Also then align. We have the Lszh localizer on. So you can see the Lszh localizer over here, all the information that we need for descent and approach to the runway. We are inside the glide slope, as you can see. So we need some thrust over here and some pitch up altitude. We need to stabilize, not moving down now. Hold level off. So we're gonna start descending again in a couple of seconds. We're closer now to the runway. We are fully aligned also with the Lszh. So we use manual ailerons and spoilers, control yoke, and also the rudder pedals for steering with the runway. Also descend, increase the descent rate a little bit. Now leveling off. Ready? Here we are. Touchdown. Parking brakes and reverse thrust. Full reverse thrust. And align with the rudder pedals, so we have the free reverse. Oh, here we are. So you can see we just landed. You can see everything is normal. You can see the nose wheel here is normal. There is no breakouts of the tires, of the buckling of the metal parts. Also the landing gear here, the wheels are normal, the tires are normal. Also the forward view here, you can see the tires again, the nose wheel, there is no breakage, and the aircraft is starting up the way it should be in the runway, normal, as you can see. All the wheels, we did a very beautiful landing, so we can use the aircraft again for another flight. You can see where we just landed. Runway 14 Zurich International Airport. Go back inside. Disarm the thrust reverse like this. You can see everything is working well. The overhead panel also. So that was Thomas Hatsios, the British American pilot flying the Boeing 777-300 ER flight. Thank you very much for watching me. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.